Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and I have another tutorial for you. I've been busy this week. Can I just say that? I actually got multiple videos out. Now next week there will probably be nothing. I don't know. We'll see. But I did want to get this to you guys. It should have been done a few days ago, but here we are. So this is a cardstock folio. No chipboard is added to this. If you're someone who loves chipboard, you still can do that. It's just a 6x6 with a 1-inch spine. So you can add your chipboard if you know how to do covers and all of that. But this is a cardstock version. And I am going to do the tutorial just slightly different than the book. And we'll see if it works out. I don't know. We're just going to do it together. But if you can see, I don't know what you can see, but because of it being a cardstock folio, and again, when you score and stuff, it changes some measurements sometimes. My cover is a little bit smaller than the actual pages. And it's not a huge deal. I'm just not going to gift this to anybody. This will be mine. But if I was making it for someone, I'd want it to be even. So I did the pages just slightly smaller. So there are some funky measurements. So get ready for that. And I think I want to say that I used five 12 by 12s, 5 or 6. 6, no more than 6 for sure, to make this album. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you guys the measurements. And we'll see how this turns out, because you never know with my tutorials. So we will just start first with the cover. You're going to need one piece that is 12 by 7. And then we're going to score that at 1. And this is with the 12 going across. And you guys can't see. Hold on, let me just come out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to come in and score at 1 inch, and then 7 and 11.5. And this is just to give us a nice finished edge. You don't have to do this part either. You can just trim it to 6 and call it good. And then when you turn it, you're going to do a 1/2 inch in 6.5, or if you're someone who likes to turn it, it's going to be a 1/2 inch on either side. So that is one there. And then this one is, if you need a close up, 7.5 by 7. And we're going to put it in the scoreboard with the 7.5 going across. You're going to score at 1 inch. Well, I should do it the way I wrote it, huh? Okay, well, we're just going to stick with it. So 1 inch and 7. Turn it, and again, just 1/2 inch on each side. This is with the 7 going across the top. So, like that. But you could see that I did the scoring one way first and then the other. Let me just make sure I did that actually correct. Nope. 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 Just stay right there. 7.5 is 1. Did I just write that measurement down twice? Or that scoring down twice? I did it. It's 1 inch and 7. See? Always. It just never fails, people. Never fails. But I mean, I try to catch it. I mean, when you go to do the project, a lot of times you will catch it. That is the 7.5 side. Okay. So that's the new score. I'll bring it a little closer in case you need to take a picture. Okay, and then I'll give you the measurements, because this is a fairly quick project. Again, if you're not me, but for anyone else, it's a quick project. So you will need 2 of these. This is for the base page, or the base of both pages. So 11 3/4, because I trimmed it down a little bit, and then I do just a little bit less than 6 inches And then you're going to score at 5. Oh, goodness gracious, I didn't even write that down. 5 7/8. Struggle is real. See, that's what happens when you try to pump out a whole bunch of projects. So 5 7/8, and you're going to do that to both of them. And next we have, okay, so for the front, our little kind of like staggered waterfall, you have, this is the bottom one. This is 5 1/4 by 5 3/4, which I did have to change the measurements on that a little bit to adjust to the new page size. But with the 5 3/4 going across, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. You'll do the same for all of these with the 1/2 inch. So 4 3/4 by 5 1/2, and then score at a 1/2 inch. And last one is, I feel like, is there more than these? Let me just double check. I just want to make sure. But 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and score at a 1/2 inch on the top. Let's just make sure. Nope, there is 3. For some reason in my head, it felt like there was more. And that's what this is right here. And then on the back of the page, we're gonna do this build this little pocket, which is one I got from Sandy Trefker, one of the CCC designers, of how she did a pocket. So this is 6 7/8 by 5 1/2. Again, a weird measurement because of us shortening up the page. But with the 6 7/8 going across, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. I'm going to do it this way. It's not going to matter. It'll be in there anyways. 1/2 inch and 5. Nope. Okay, stop it. It doesn't matter, Tiffany. A 1/2 inch and 5 3/8. That's not right. What am I doing? That is not right. What? Nope. Oh. Okay. Hold. Just hold, please. Why is that not correct? It's not supposed to be that. What am I doing? It's supposed to be a 1/2 inch from there. So 6 3/8. Oh my gosh. I just want to make sure that this is actually 5 7/8. Yes. What a Lusa. Okay. So it is 6 3/8. We're just gonna like do all the corrections together. I should have just wrote it with you. Now on the 5 1/2 side, we're gonna score at 3 1/2. Just like that. And that goes to the back of page 2. And then there's nothing on the front of page, nope, back of page 1. Lordy. Ooh-wee. Okay, if you're new to my channel, watch my tutorials first. Because it's a hot mess. And then on the back of page 2, we have this flap. Let's see if this one is right. And it is, yeah, let me show you guys. 6 1/2, again, by a little bit less than 6. You have a 1/2 inch, and this is on the 6 1/2 side, 4 1/2. So 1/2 inch and 4 1/2 on the 6 1/2. Then we have for the back, and this one, just hold tight because we're going to do this one together. But first you'll have, this is for the corner pockets back here, these double stacked corner pockets. So I did this first. So this is a 5 by 6 1/2, and I scored at a 1/2 inch on the 5. Then I turned it, scored at a 1/2 inch. Then we are going to cut it on the diagonal, but not at the point, but diagonal from the score lines. So these two score lines, and then I do the same thing with the leftover piece, and that gives us our second little pocket. So there's that piece, and then just things that you will need if you want to do the same type of photo mats and tags. You don't have to, but I have one photo mat that is 4.5 by 5, and that goes on the back of page 1. And then 4 by 5 goes in our angled pockets. And then we have 2 tags that I created that were 3 by 5, and then I just snipped the corners, rounded the edges. And then on the inside, top loading part of the pages, you'll have 2 inserts that are 5 1/4 by 11 1/2, and then we will score it at 5 3/4. Now, just to show you, I did a couple miscuts, and I literally only had, I want to say it was 5 pieces of this cardstock. This is a speckled tone craft cardstock from Country Craft Creations that we got at a retreat. I don't know if Tamara's gonna ever sell it, but it's so, oh my gosh, I love it. But you can use just the regular craft, but this is all I had, and I wanted, I'm trying to use up stuff in my stash. But I did a miscut, so I had to cut mine down to 5. Well, they were already cut to 5 because I needed the other bigger piece for something else. So what my original is 5 1/4 by 11 1/2. If you're looking, like when you see me do things, this is 5 by 11 1/2. You can do it either way, but I'm just showing you that if you make a boo-boo on a cut or something, make it work. Make it work, peeps. It's all good. Okay, and I think with this one, I think I'm going to do another 4th of July. And I'm going to use the Simple Vintage Linen Market 6 by 8 and do like my own little, you know, other 4th of July non-traditional. I don't know, I like doing it. It's fun. Okay, so let's get started. Let's put this beauty away. I'm going to bring out my other mat. I feel like I can see things better on it. Okay, so first we're going to get out this first piece here, and we are going to cut. This is the A 7.5 by 7, but I want this side. So I'm going to cut right through the intersection. If you have a different way you like to do your corners, that is fine too. Some people like to just cut the corner out and have a square. And then we're going to come to the right of this score. Oh no, we're going to miter this one. So can you guys see? Not really. I don't know how else to show. But we're going to miter right at that score line. And then cut this little piece out by going to the left of the bump. So it looks like that now. We're going to do the same thing over here, and we're going to go to the right of the bump. And you'll see why in just a few minutes. Miter this corner to the intersection. So this is what we look like here. And we're going to come in, start doing this one. Now this, we are going to miter these corners. It's easier for me to do it this way. It doesn't have to be a big miter, we just want to miter it. And then I'm going to come in and do my little pie piece. So mitering on both sides of that score line. Come over, I don't know if you guys can't really see, man, that's really invisible on there. Is it better this side? Ooh. Well, okay, there is a little score mark right there. Let me just see if I can. It's kind of hard to see on this actual paper. But just right at that score line, we're going to do the same thing. Take out a little pie piece on both sides. This just eliminates, you know, the extra bulk. And then over here, we're going to cut through the corner. Now same thing up here. Just right through the intersection of those score lines. And then cut out the, gosh, I'm looking at my camera. That's why I'm trying to see. You guys really can't see nothing. Cut out this pie piece. At least from my angle, you can't see anything. I don't know. And cut out this pie piece. So our piece should now look like this here. You can see. And we're just going to start folding everything up. So let's just start folding all of these and give it a good burnish. Good burnish. All these lines. I should say scores. And then you're going to fold the other ones. And then you'll eventually see if you need to do any type of trimming. We'll do some dry fitting as we go. Dry fitting is our friend. So we're just coming in. And this is where too, once you get like your cover folded and then you cut your base pages before you glue your, oh, we forgot the hinge. Of course I did. I always forget something. Before you do your base pages, you're going to dry fit to make sure that they measure this same distance, because it could be off a little bit with trimmers and scoreboards. So I just want to see I'm good there. Just making sure it bends. I might take a little bit off there. That is good. Okay, this one I need to take off a little bit. You'll know, like once you're folding it up, if you feel it resisting, then you know you have to take off a little bit. And it's just where the other part, you know, bends. So like here, I'm going to take off just a little bit more because you want it to be nice and easy. Yep, that feels better. This one, I'm going to take off a little bit. It's just a nice, you know, just a little process. You don't have to do any of this double checking. It'll still work. It just makes it better overall if you take the time to check. Okay, so let's glue these all together. Start over here on this side. When you don't have the chipboard, it's just nice and easy process. This is a great way to start out if you're a beginner, to get used to making albums and then hopping to an album with chipboard. I'm gonna have to figure out what the spine is. I don't know, or not the spine, the hinge. Totally forgot to make that. Didn't even write it down. There's always something. We're just gluing it all down and then giving it a really good burnish so it's nicely sealed. So see how it just gives it a really nice finished edge? Plus it just makes the book that much sturdier. And if you're someone who likes the thickness of chipboard, you could always add like another layer of cardstock, you know, on your base before you add pattern paper. Okay, so now it should look like this. Let's leave this for a second. And I do want to just kind of test, make sure these line up. Yep, that looks good so far. So now we are going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to get this all folded. Crease those scores. Okay, that is good. Do these fold up okay? Okay. I'm going to take a little bit off of this one. It doesn't have to be a lot. Yep, that is better. Okay, so let's glue all these 3 sides, not the 1 inch, just the 3 halvesies. Seal it up, and then we'll glue the two pieces together on the 1 inch. And I did just a floating, what I call a floating hinge. It's not really floating because it's stuck, but it doesn't have the wings. So I want to say we will need a piece that is 2 inches, because I always do 1 inch for each page that I have. And of course I score a 1/2 inch in between that. But 1 inch for each page, and then whatever I want my middle gussets to be, which on this one I think we did 3/8 of an inch. Yes. So we need a piece that is 2 3/8. I'm just making sure this is really stuck. Nice and firm. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of force that a little bit more. So now we have this. Here's where you're going to do like your first kind of dry fit. Put it in there, but again, you want to make sure this will fold up nicely, and it does. So I am going to put glue on this side, because this is going to be underneath, and I don't want any excess glue to come out if possible. There we go. Oops. So just put that on there, but do not go up to or past that score on this one. You're to the left of the score line. And before you burnish it all down, I'm lined up. Yes, okay. So now burnish. There we go. That's good. Now we're going to seal it up with our little flaps here. And from here you could, you could do whatever you want to do. You can add extra flaps. You could have did 2 of these and had both of them have an inside. This is just kind of a nice, easy starting point. So we have that. This folds in. This folds like that. So there is the cover right there. Now for the base pages. Okay, let's grab the hinge just so we can get out of the way. So I think what we need is 2 3/8 by, what is our page? Our page is a little bit less than 6. Okay, hold on. Have to cut it, which you guys are used to me just walking away. You're used to it by now, it's all good. Okay, so we said 2 3/8 by less than 6. Okay. Let me grab nice if I could actually see where my stuff is at. Okay. Oh, it's over here already. So again, this piece is 2 3/8 by less than 6, and we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, 1, and then we have 1 3/8, and then something. What is that? 1 3/8, and then where are we at? 1 7/8, and we should be good. Yeah, I wasn't very confident on that one, but we're gonna see. Okay, so terrible handwriting, very messy, but that's what this should be for the hinge. So that there. So let's just score this right now. I'm gonna flip it. So 1/2 inch, 1. Then we have 1 3/8. Then it is 1 7/8. Yeah, you can't see nothing on this paper, but there you go. So that's what we have. But I do want to make sure that I want to take a sliver off of each end so that it doesn't impede when we go to adhere it to the spine. So just a little, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm taking off just a sliver. And a sliver off both sides. Okay, let's take my little minis out. Done so good this year using tools that I haven't used in the past years. Okay, so just fold all these. Fold them all. Doesn't matter which way you're folding, because it's good to bounce them back and forth anyways, just to really loosen up those fibers. I'm just doing the middle right now for the actual gusset. Okay, so we are going to glue this, and our hinge will look like this. But I do want to just kind of do a little dry fit first. Yes, so it's a little bit smaller than our book, which is what you want. So add glue to the outside flap since we made those a little smaller. Oh, I cannot wait till I don't even know when I'm going to be able to do it. I'm saying this acting like I'm going to, June is already over, basically, and I am nowhere closer to being able to move upstairs because I need to paint that wall. I need to empty the room first, paint it, and then do the flooring before I move in there. And every weekend, I have something all day tomorrow. I have something on Saturday. I have, what do I have? Oh, the weekend after 4th of July is kind of the start to my big 50th birthday kickoff where I'm crafting with friends. What is that? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. That following weekend, I'll be in Vegas with my best friend, and then that week in Vegas with Country Craft Creations. And I think, do I have the last of the, I might have the last weekend of July free. I just might. August is booked every weekend. I don't know when I'm doing any of this. I tell you. How does time like fly by? It's insane. So I'm just mitering these a little bit here. Doing a little miter. So now we have our hinge. We could put that on. Now you can come in here and put paper over this. It is not needed because I did not do it with this one. You don't see it. It is totally it's all matchy-matchy. We have our little, which I need to make sure I can bend this one over. I have that one a little tight. But you just want to make sure, I don't know if I'm gonna like that, that when, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You don't need to make sure anything. You're gonna put this on. Did I do it? Oh yes, I did. I think I did. No, I did not. Struggle. You have to put decorative paper down first and then put this on. So don't do what I was just about to do. And let me see if I could just lift this up for a second and recut, because that's going to bug me. I could have just left it and you guys would never know. But I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm just lifting this. It's not going to do nothing to your book, so don't worry. I want it to fold nice, and I just want that a little bit mitered, a little bit more. Just take a little bit of that baby off of there. And grab a little nubby nub. Yes. Just gonna trim that a little bit. Okay. See, all good. Just a little serge. I know you guys can't see it, but I can see it and it bugs me. There we go. Okay. That folds way better. Okay, so we're going to set this aside for the moment. We're not going to put that on yet. What we can do, I think we should do, let's do the pockets first. So get out your back inside cover corner pockets. And we're going to need a little cutter. So again, I'm going to put it on my cutter and not cut from there to there. I'm cutting from score line to score line. Score line to score line. Just like so. Now go ahead, we could that. You're going to fold that over, cut this part off, fold this over. My folding was kind of bad though. We'll give it a good burnish here in a second. Just do that now. Just get it over it, Tiffany, because it's folding funky. Hold on. Okay. So just cut that off. So that is our first pocket that we will put down. So first one. But then this one, we want to now score our leftover piece. We're going to do the exact same thing. So this way. Minus my greasy lotion fingers. Like that. You guys see? Okay. Like so. And do the same thing. Fold and cut. And we'll see. I feel like that just did something weird. Oh no, it didn't. Oh, it scared me. It looked smaller, and it's supposed to be smaller. Okay, so got that all off to the side. So now give this a good burnish as well. Now we're going to stick those on. So do your big one first. I'm going to do, just to show you guys, you know, I really just wanted to put glue on my fingers. Messy crafter. So I like to do the bottom first, even though I didn't do it at first. So just kind of get that where you want it. I just make sure I'm not going off. Make sure I'm all the way over to the edge. Glue is everywhere. Now here's where you would want to add some like Scotch tape just to make sure. You don't have to do this part, and I'm not going to because my husband grabbed my tape out of my room. But it helps you, you know, so things will go in your pocket a lot easier. Goes my even in frame, barely. So we're adding adhesive. And again, making sure we're lined up. And then burnish really good. Don't ask me why I'm sideways. I don't know. But I am. It's all sideways. Okay. Now, we'll do the same thing with the small one. So, just do a little dry fit, kind of see how things are. And then you'll put your adhesive on. It is easier to do one side first, unless you know, are very advanced. And it also gives you time to move it just from one side if you need to. So burnish that. Probably good. Yes. I'm going to kind of just force this one over a little bit. There we go. Now, put your adhesive here. Oh my gosh, I have to make it a 50th birthday card. Just so many things. So many things. Okay. Like so. Clean that glue up. Okay, so we now have that done. And we'll see. I might do a matting video. If I do, it's not going to be for a minute. But when you go to mat inside here, so I mat, you know, the full, this is 4.5 by 6. So I mat 4 3/8 by 5 7/8, put my mat in there. I cut another mat that same size, and I put it in, and I just cut, do a pencil line behind here. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if I can get something to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Let's just, so if you had your mat in here, you would just do like, you know, a little pencil line, and then cut that below that line like 1/8 of an inch off, and then that is in here matting. Now, it just depends upon your paper. If you have non-directional paper, you should be able to take this side and move it over, just like do a flip. So here, it didn't work out. I'm trying to think, how did I do this? The red is on the back of, I think it was the plow was on the back of the red. But you could get away with just doing like a little, like this second one, just being a little bit extra. I don't even know what I'm saying. Just ignore me right now. Just put your paper in, trace it, and cut it. How about that tutorial for you? I can't. Tiffany, you're absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's set that aside. Oh my gosh. So, fold up our 2 base pages. You do have to glue here in the middle. We're not doing that yet. That's a glue. Like, because I don't know what it is, but it has to be glue. I think that's in the paper. But just make sure you glue the bottom, because you guys know I never do. I figure it out eventually, but most of the time it's not. Let me just put my hair up real quick. So we're going to start with our first one. So let's get out our stacked waterfalls. So we are going to have these. Let's go ahead and miter all these corners. So I'm just going to do them together. Just miter all your corners however you want to. Okay, and now fold all those. I tell you, my little bone folder is getting dull because I don't have really crisp folds anymore. We're just going to glue these all together. So, and I did mine like this. You could put your pages on first if you're one who likes to do that. If you've been watching me, I don't like crushing like my stuff. I like to do my pages outside of the book. And you're just going to do it centered. You can use your mats or just eyeball, which is what I'm going to do. There should be about 1/4 of an inch. What is that, like 3/8 of an inch on each side. Make sure you're all the way up to the top. And, well, first, because I don't want to put the pocket on, let's just make sure we are the same size. And I think I need to trim it a little bit. So we're going to give ours, well, let me just trim this little edge first. So you want to do this dry fit, again, because of the scoring and how our paper trimmers are. Like I'm exact, I might just take off a little, I'm going to take off a smidgen. I probably didn't take off enough to begin with. Yeah, so I'm at 6, so you're just going to come here and trim that one. Where's the other one? And trim this one a little. Well, I think I am, yeah, the right size. Okay, dry fitting is our friend. I'm telling you, it saves you lots of headaches. So now just let's glue all these on there, and then we're done with the front, and we'll move on to the pocket on the back. These all just get glued up to the top in the center of the last one. Burnish. Burnish. And my original, I don't